We were very innocent people who knew nothing about the law, absolutely nothing about the law. Very little information was given to us. We had to call to find out when court, which courtroom. Not too many bothered calling us.
My name is Laurie Alphonse, and I am from the Disabled Women's Network.
My name is Teresa McQuaig. I am the grandmother of Sylvain Leduc, who was kidnapped along with 3 other youths in 1995. There was 12 people involved in these crimes. Many of them took turns beating him to death.
I deal with people with disabilities, and being a person with a disability myself, with about 20 or so years experience in the field, what I have learned is that there are people with disabilities who are victims that don't access the system that is designed for their protection. They're reluctant to trust in a system that they feel that doesn't recognize their needs. And that happens for a variety of reasons, but mostly because they feel that they won't be believed, because there's always a feeling that I'm a person with a disability and nobody's going to believe me.
Equality. There's no such thing right now for victims. During that first bail hearing, I was stunned to learn the evidence that police had not shared with us at all. We did not know how our child had died, what had happened to the other victims. It was all kept a big secret. We were not told that a deal had been made. We were told after the fact.
If somebody asks for an accommodation, you need knowledge about how to get accommodations and how to make sure that they're provided, and people need time. Things are never put into a plain language context in that for people with intellectual disabilities, if you give them a legal form and say, well, this is what's happening, they're going to look at it and say, I don't understand. Please explain it to me. And if you don't know enough to know that you need to simplify your language and what the simplification of that language and the impact of it is, and if you don't do it appropriately, the person will not understand what they need to understand.
What is needed is for a victim to be treated with dignity in the courtroom, most especially. Be advised of their rights. That's not much to ask for. We're only asking for what is fair. An accused is allowed to a speedy trial. And if he doesn't get it on time, a judge can just dismiss the whole case. Yes, but you as a victim are sitting in that courtroom and they'll say, oh, court's been remanded for 6 months from now. Or court, oh, we're into our 6 month, oh, now we need another 2-month break, another 2-month break. The accused can get his lawyer to push the case back, push the case back, push the case back, as long as they want to play their game. We, victims, are not allowed a speedy trial. It was never explained to us that a victim impact statement follows the accused to the jail, in his file. Victims are not told this. So I was quite surprised, because we did write victim impact statement. And later on, when I attended the parole hearing, I was quite surprised to hear my letter being read. Wow, it actually followed the accused. Well, victims aren't told that, and so many don't bother with a victim impact statement. We were not told also that we had to register with the parole board in order to be informed where the accused is today, like which jail they're at, what they're doing.
I think we've forgotten people who have been victimized if we don't deal with them and deal with them appropriately, they will not have the capacity to become whole again. Offenders have more rights, because I'm looking at, they're talking about rehabilitation of offenders. Well, what about physical and mental rehabilitation of their victims?
I hope my grandson sees all this and knows that he was loved and that his life was not in vain.